Hi guys! So today I am going to be doing a video where I chat with you guys about a topic or multiple topics, I don't know at this moment, that you guys requested. So I asked on my Instagram story, what do you guys want me to talk about today while I do my makeup? Because I want to do a really pretty face of makeup today. I'm feeling very springy. It is literally pouring down rain outside. I asked you guys to give me your suggestions, and oh my, there are many. We're just gonna hop into it. This isn't like a Q&A or anything. I also want to try these out today. These are the Huda Beauty mini powder puff set. I got this in the mail and I have seen so many people talking about powder puffs. I'm sure this is like a trend or whatever. I know powder puffs aren't new, but people being like, they literally changed the game versus like a beauty sponge, which honestly, this is a new beauty sponge that I haven't tried before. This is the Koki Cover and Conceal Beauty Sponge, and I really like the texture of this so far. It's very blimby. Blimby meter, honestly, 9 out of 10. This is the moisturizer that I've been literally obsessed with. This is the Desi Agua Fresca. If you're looking for a moisturizer that has no scent, it is just such a good skin prep, like underneath makeup, just as a moisturizer on its own. I feel like it does such a good job of making my skin feel like it actually got like a drink. Oh, it's just lovely. I love the texture of it. I love the packaging. I love everything about it. So yes.
Interrupting our regularly scheduled video to thank today's sponsor, which is HelloFresh. If you guys don't know who HelloFresh is, they are a meal delivery service. They deliver meals directly to your home each week. And in the box are the bags that you have pre-chosen with each meal inside. HelloFresh now has 40 weekly recipes to choose from, so you can say goodbye to your recipe rut and treat yourself and your family to new exciting flavors every week. You can customize selects meals by swapping proteins or sides, or even adding a protein to a veggie dish. And now you can even upgrade for organic chicken or organic ground beef. You'll only find quality ingredients in HelloFresh's recipes. In fact, ingredients travel from the farm to your home in less than 7 days, so you know they're fresh. This week we had the amazing meatloaves with the caramelized onion gravy, and they are so good. HelloFresh's meatloaves are some of the best I've had, and they're so quick. This meal was one of the quickest that we made. It was just super easy, and my kiddo and my husband absolutely loved this so much. HelloFresh is so perfect for our family because it's so easy and quick to just grab from the fridge. You don't have to worry about what you're going to make tonight, what you're going to have for dinner, if it's going to be balanced, what are we going to have for a side. It's all there for you, and the recipe card on the back is super easy to follow all of the steps.
Okie dokie, let's give her a try. I gotta try this sumac.
If you guys are interested in checking out HelloFresh, go to HelloFresh.com and use code RawBeauty65 for 65% off plus free shipping. And I thank you again so much to HelloFresh for sponsoring the beginning portion of today's video. And we're gonna hop into talking about what you guys wanted to know.
So I'm looking here at the responses that some of you guys have said, and somebody asked, have you heard of the anti-influencer trend on TikTok, de-influencing? I have heard of it. Is it like anti-haul? Is it like what you shouldn't buy? Content creators encourage people not to buy or use something. Rejection of influencer culture, which consumers have had enough of. The hashtag de-influencing has racked up more than 76 million views on TikTok, sparking a bigger conversation about overconsumption in the videos. Creators are telling the truth about everything TikTok made them buy, and more often than not, urging people to think long and hard before they fall victim to the hype. I feel like a lot of people, especially Gen Z, they're a generation that wants to rebel against this perfectly curated world that has been in social media for the past decade. I just kind of think of this as their way of expressing that and trying to fit this into the ever-changing world of social media. The influencer trend is rewriting what it means to be an influencer. There's like anti-hauls. I mean, I myself have done many of these things in the past, and I think it's good. I think it's good to like talk about, you know, not every product is as good as everybody says. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. I wish I might even make a video about this. Let me know if you guys would be interested in a video about this, because I can make a full dedicated video about all of the shit that I have bought off of Instagram ads and whether or not it was actually good. There have been some that have been so good and been like incredible for our family. Like for one, I'll give the example, the Play Small Bouncy House. Love it. Use it every single day. It is one Instagram purchase and like that I was given like Instagram ads for that I'm like, yeah, worth every penny. An amazing product. There have also been very many more. Oh, there's no scent. Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer. This is a new tube. Yeah, I've bought so many things off of Instagram ads, you guys. Just, I'm talking like a crazy amount of things because they get me. They get me. But some of the products have been really, really good. Some of them have been really, really shitty, and I feel like weren't worth it a lot. I would say more often than not, the products are like decent that I've bought. So if you guys would be interested in that video, I'll try to like round up everything that I've bought because of Instagram ads. It's a lot. And yeah, I think it could be an interesting video. Is ultimately a good thing. We have enough influencing going on. So de-influencing, hey, if that becomes a trend, fantastic. If it can make sure that people don't buy shit. How do you handle health anxiety when something is actually wrong? Well, my therapist taught me that with health anxiety, the concern, if you don't know what health anxiety is, it's basically like there are two different names for it. So it's like health anxiety is the term that I like. And then like hypochondria is what you may hear of. Hypochondria, I feel like has a connotation of like, oh, you just think everything's wrong with you all the time. Health anxiety is like, I'm worried that something's wrong with me and little sensations in my body make me concerned that there's something else big going on. You may not always think there's something wrong. It's not like you're creating health problems. It's that you're worried about your health. So health anxiety, I have it. Hi, I have health anxiety. And it's the concern that I'm always gonna die. I think that a lot of illnesses make me afraid that I'm gonna die. Sensations in my body tend to bring about like periods of worrying about my health. But I have found such relief from health anxiety with this therapy technique that my therapist taught me. And this is a cognitive behavioral therapy technique. And it is basically what we did is, so when I have like really, really, really bad health anxiety, and like say that I get like numb fingers and toes or something like that. And I'm like, oh my God, maybe this is, XYZ. I could name a bunch of things. Maybe this is MS. Maybe this is diabetic neuropathy. And I know too much about health because I've Googled a lot in my past. So I have too much knowledge almost on regards to health issues. And so what my natural inclination is when I have a bout of health anxiety is to Google. I want to Google numb fingers and toes, symptoms, this, that, what could it be? What could this be? Reading about this. If it were this, what would this be? And I could like go down the rabbit hole of Googling. But the thing is that the internet can't tell you what you have. And the only person that can is a doctor. So what I do when I get a bout of health anxiety and when I feel like I want to start like over Googling. So my therapist texted this to me. This was actually on October 1st, 2021. So it's been quite a long time. And here's what we came up with as a response to medical Googling. So this is exact text from her. My body is completely unique. What worked or didn't work for other people does not apply to me. I'm going to stop comparing myself to other people. So that is what I would tell myself when I would have like a really anxious period of like wanting to Google and wanting to know like what happened with this person. And it doesn't matter. What I tell myself is if I'm concerned enough about the health problem, I would go to the doctor. I don't allow myself to Google anymore. I haven't Googled since October of 2021. I Google, but I'll Google like who sings Days of Summer. Like I don't Google about health and I don't Google about symptoms and stuff like that. Because if I'm concerned enough about it, then I would go to the doctor. Google's not going to tell me whether or not I have MS or diabetic neuropathy, but a doctor can. So if I'm concerned enough, I would go to the doctor. If I'm not concerned enough, I can't think about it. Because if you were, you'd go to the doctor. So that's how I combat health anxiety for myself now. And it has worked beautifully. Google will send you down a rabbit hole. Google will tell you you have cancer. Google will tell you that you are dying of a rare brain disorder or some flesh-eating bacteria. Google doesn't know because Google can't test your blood. Let's hope. Dr. Google's not a real thing, so you need to stop consulting it. But a real doctor is a real thing. And if you are concerned enough, then you should go to them. This person said, why is it so hard to ignore mean people? Is there a class for turning the other cheek? Oh man, it's so hard. I think as people, we naturally want to people please. I know that for myself, I do. And I really want everyone to like me. I have to be liked. I was actually listening to a podcast the other day and I thought it was kind of life-changing for me. And when I say the other day, it was like a couple months ago, I listened to a podcast and it was actually the Office Ladies podcast and it was BJ Novak talking on there, who is one of the writers of The Office. And he also is Ryan from The Office. And he was talking on the podcast and they were asking him questions about like, what do you do about like the negativity that you see online? And this is just speaking like, I'm going to speak like as a creator here, and negativity and mean people online. And I thought that his words, and I think he was quoting somebody else in the podcast, but what he said is, you create for your fans, not your critics. And I was like, it was like a light bulb went off. I was like, duh, of course. there's always going to be critics. There always will be. There's nothing you can do. You could literally be the most beautiful, amazing, incredible, like smart. Oh my God, you could be everything. And there will still be somebody there to criticize. So that's for me now. That's where I went. And that's why I have this newfound attitude online that I got back to. Actually, it's not a newfound attitude, but I feel like I got back to myself because I started creating for my critics. I started taking everything my critics would say into consideration when I would post, instead of the people that are actually here because they like what I have to say. So I started creating for critics, and now I'm creating for, I don't use the word fans. I don't like that. I don't feel like I have fans, but I create for the viewers, the people who want to watch. So for me, I don't know why it's so hard to ignore mean people, but I think because our brains naturally don't understand, they just are naturally geared towards the negative. I just feel like they are. I'm gonna use a powder puff with the Rare Beauty powder that I always use. I think our brains are just naturally geared towards the negative, which sucks because it makes it feel like the positive comments don't matter, and they totally do. Oh, I do feel like that makes a difference. And it fits really nicely into the under eye there. Whoa, look at that difference. It's unfortunate, but we just have to do our best to not let the critics of the world affect us. It's really, really hard. It's like impossible. But like, I think it's normal to want to be liked. And when somebody is mean to you or has a shitty attitude towards you, like it's normal to have that affect you and be a problem. So like, I don't know, it's really hard to turn the other cheek. I feel like my under eyes look absolutely flawless with that powder puff. That was really cool. By the way, this is the NYX Brow Glue, and I've been using this for like the last, I don't know, like 6 or so times that I've done my makeup. It's good. It keeps your brows in place, and it's got a tint, and it's real gluey, but it's good. So somebody said relationship stuff. Is everything always perfect between you and Zach? No. I'm gonna say this. Before we had a child, Zach and I rarely, and I mean rarely, argued. Because we just had our like routine down, you know, we knew what we wanted to do, what our like kind of plan was for the day. Like we kind of were just like doing our own thing a lot of the time, and we would like meet up at the end of the night, and it was fine. Like we never argued, and we like, I mean, really, really rarely, you guys. Like I can't drive home enough how rare an argument was prior to having a kid. I just truly think that in the beginning stages of like babyhood and life and toddlerhood and all that stuff, like you're gonna fight. You're not fight. Fight's not even the word. Like argue, petty, just get annoyed with each other on another level. Like you're sleep deprived. Not only that, but you're deprived of like time for yourself, time to have capacity to handle things well. You also like have this new person to care for, and like it's not even just care for, but like I love my son more than I ever knew was literally physically possible, and same with my husband. And there are just like, it's just, I've never had to care for something like this before. I was watching The Last of Us. I was like watching one of the last episodes. I'm not gonna spoil anything, don't worry. There's a part where there's some kids, and there's a scene where like Joel is talking to somebody, and he says like, kids handle this better than adults do. And he was like, yeah. And he said, it's easier for them because they don't have anyone relying on them. And I was like, whoa, that's exactly what it's like. Like childhood was free and open. They have nobody relying on them for anything. Their life is to be fun and to just have a good time, and they rely. And so being relied on, overwhelming, it's exhausting, and sometimes it's difficult. And so when you put a relationship through that strain of these experiences, these feelings that have never gone through this before, like you're gonna argue, and you're gonna argue a fucking lot more. And I know that this isn't the case for everybody, but like I was actually talking to my therapist about this because I was getting so frustrated at the fact that this was happening. And she was like, oh, this is so normal. And I was like, I hate that. And she was like, yeah, it's just, it is what it is. It is. Like most, not all, but most new parents argue way more. We're a real relationship. We're a real couple. We're not like some idealized anything. Yeah, of course we don't post that stuff online because it'd be really uncomfortable to have everybody be in there every moment of your life. But oh yeah, no, we absolutely argue. And you know, I'm just trying to recognize that this is a season of parenting that we are in. We'll get through it. Okay, these brows are looking a little bit crazy. I'm gonna take the spoolie side and just kind of yeah, we won't be in this season of our relationship forever. We won't always be arguing like this forever. We're not arguing today. We're doing pretty well today. I will say that we've argued more since we've had a kid, but we've also had some of the best times that we've ever had. We've laughed more, we've cried more, we've had like more whole experiences. And so it's, there's a give and a take there, you know what I mean? Like, what are your thoughts on aging gracefully in a world of endless Botox? That's a really good question. Well, I don't really care what other people do with their lives. I think like, hey, it's your face, it's your life, it's your money, it's your, you know, feelings towards your body. And you can do with it what you want. I don't care what other people do with their bodies, or their lives or their faces. I think aging gracefully is absolutely lovely. It's what I plan on doing. I think that the term like aging gracefully, I guess, would be like it almost has like a negative connotation to people who do decide to do Botox and things like that, which I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with that, because it doesn't hurt anybody. As long as you know the risks and as long as you know all of that, then you know, go for it. It's your life, it's your body, it's your money, it's your time. It's not that people that get Botox and filler and stuff like that aren't aging gracefully. I just think it's like a different way. They want to prevent wrinkles and they don't want to have like signs of aging. They're just trying to slow down the signs of aging. And I think that's fine. Like, I don't care what other people do. I am not choosing to do that because I just don't want to. I don't care enough. I gotta lock this chair. There we go. I don't care enough to take the time, take the money, take the risk. I don't want to go under any unnecessary, for me, unnecessary. It might be necessary for other people, but like unnecessary surgical procedures or, you know, anything like that. I'm good on it. So I don't care what other people do, but again, I personally, like if I'm just giving my opinion, I like the look of wrinkles. I like the look of smile lines and crow's feet, and I think it's beautiful. I also think that people can do what the fuck they want, and like people can have an opinion on that, sure. Like I've seen all the discourse around Madonna and the way that she looked at, was it the Grammys? I don't know. I think people are mean, but I also think that like you're entitled to your own opinion, but she's also entitled to inject her face with shit if she wants to. It's her face. I don't know, I just don't really care. I do think that for myself personally, I've chosen the route of no filler, no Botox, and things like that. I'm doing pretty good so far. I've got one little line right here, you can see, from that face. And, you know, all this kind of stuff. 35, not too shabby. So, yeah, there's that. And I hardly do skincare. Is YouTube dead? Everyone I used to watch never uploads anymore. I guess that depends on your definition of dead. I think the reason that you're not seeing your favorite creators uploading anymore is because the internet has seemingly switched to short form content. By the way, I'm gonna use the Moon Prism. I'm gonna use the Lunar Beauty Moon Prism blush palette, and I'm gonna go in with this shade here, which is Pink Moon. And I did this one the other day, and oh my gosh, it just felt so pretty and like such a pretty light pink color. I loved it. I don't think that YouTube is dead. I think that it has shifted and changed, but I think the pendulum's gonna swing back, I really do. Right now, everybody's over on TikTok and everybody's focusing on YouTube shorts and things like that. And I will say that the platforms are also rewarding that. So like Reels, Shorts, TikToks, that's what the platforms are promoting. If you're not doing those things, you're not getting pushed out. It's just a fact. It's just, it's very clear. I can say as a creator, you're like, hello? Where did everybody go? And it happened really, really fast and it was really surprising. But you know, it's just like that wave of cookie crumbles in it. But no, I don't think YouTube's dead. I think that things are gonna start coming back to YouTube actually. And I was thinking about, I don't know, I'm not that great at makeup, but I was wondering if maybe you guys would be interested in tutorials again. Would anybody be interested in like just a tutorial? Like we're not gonna talk about like all this stuff necessarily, but like, does anyone care about that? Would you watch a tutorial? Does anyone want that? Because I would totally do that. I mean, the thing is that no creator is gonna film what's not being watched. And so we use our analytics as a guide for what we're going to put our focus and attention to. And so if things aren't getting views, nobody's gonna waste their time doing them because it's like, you know, it's a lot of work and time and effort for what? To like feel like a loser, you know, to be honest. Like you upload your shit and then you're like, Well, I'm really glad I spent 16 hours on this video because it got 0 views. It ebbs and it flows. I feel like we're in an ebb right now and it's gonna flow again. And eventually it'll be a new thing. It's always going to do that, but I don't think it's dead. A lot of people aren't uploading because it's just not like, it's not worth it for a lot of people to do, and they're just switching over to TikTok and stuff like that. But I feel like it's gonna come back. Somebody asked me, aside from homesteading and makeup, what are your interests? You know, I've been trying to think about this lately and like who am I? And what do I like? And what do I want to do? And, you know, I'm coming to the conclusion that, I don't know. I definitely am trying to like dip my little toe into different hobbies. I don't know. I'm thinking I want to start try a little bit to do stained glass. That seems really fun. It's not something that I currently do. I've never done it and I don't know if I can do it very well, but I want to try stained glass because I think it could be really neat and I think it could be really fun, and I want to eventually make a stained glass window for our greenhouse because we have I'll show you my greenhouse right here, and I love it. It is the most beautiful greenhouse I've ever seen in my entire life. Thank you very much. I love it so much. It is so beautiful. It has like this arched window on the top of it, and it's like a plexi. So every other window is real like tempered glass, but then that arch is plexiglass. And so I want to take and make a real stained glass window for that arch. I think that would look so pretty. And yeah, so I am really interested in trying that out. I've been watching videos on how to do it. If you guys have any like recommendations for stained glass. I also am like, yeah, of course, gardening, growing flowers. I think growing flowers is gonna be my big thing this year. Like, yes, we're growing a huge veggie and fruit garden, but at the same time, I'm really, really, really interested in flowers. I didn't think I ever would be because it's like not something that's ever really interested me all that much, but there's just something about a flower garden that just fucking gets me going, baby. Ranunculus and peonies, dahlias, tulips, hyacinth, daffodils. Oh my God, I have snowdrops, and oh my God, I just can't with all of these. So yeah, I'm really excited about doing that. Anything else that I'm really into? I got a rug making gun and I want to make a rug. I want to start getting into pottery, but it really, really intimidates me. Really, really bigly intimidates me. I really want to start doing pottery, but I feel really nervous that like I'm just not going to be able to figure it out. Or I don't know. I did it back in high school and I was actually pretty decent at it. And then now it's been so long, like I don't remember how to do anything. This person wanted me to talk about how me and Zach make money to enable us to have such an amazing house and lifestyle. Well, thank you so much. Well, I do this is how. And it's an unconventional job to say the least. So if you don't know kind of what we did prior to this, I worked in a veterinary hospital for 5 years. My husband did something called non-destructive testing. So he worked doing like testing of pipes and dams and bridges and things like that. And he would test the thickness, they did like thickness testing with like RT, which is like radiation, and then like MT, PT. He did all these different like things, and I think at the end he was using like automated UT, so which is called like ultrasound. So he did like ultrasound on pipes and things like that to see if the welds were good or if they needed to be replaced, and like to make sure that things were structurally sound. So that's what my husband did prior. And I don't know, I talked about this on a podcast. I can't remember whose podcast it was. ColourPop? It might have been a ColourPop podcast that I did back in 2020. It was back in 2017, I believe, that I quit my job at the vet to be able to do YouTube full time, because I started making enough from AdSense and like sponsorships and stuff like that, that it became financially viable for me to do that, put more effort in. Like the more effort that you put into YouTube, the more you get out of it, usually. And so I was like, okay, well, this is starting to take off a little bit. I'd done a few videos that had done really well, and I was like, okay, now is the time. I'm going to try to take the leap. So I quit my job in 2017. My husband was still working for that entire year doing the same job that I just told you about. And then over the course of the next year, so from 2017 to the beginning of 2018, I just busted my ass on YouTube and tried to make enough money that my husband would hopefully be able to quit his job. It was dangerous. He did not like it. It wasn't something that he was wanting to do often at all. He was working like 60 hours a week, and we just hardly ever saw each other. And so it became financially viable for him to quit his job back in 2018. And then we just worked together full time. So he started editing my videos, and we created the Sweet Life of Zach and Kristi YouTube channel. And now we are both stay-at-home parents to our son while doing both of these jobs as well. We're still posting twice a week on the Sweet Life of Zach and Kristi YouTube channel. And still over here, helps me edit and everything like that. I still have the final say when it comes to editing because I'm a control freak. But other than that, like, that's what my husband does for work now. So we both work online. And the reason that we've been able to have the life that we have now is, well, for one, all of you guys watching. So every time you watch, every time you support like a collab, that makes a huge difference. Like, it's life changing. And also, I am a freak about saving money. I do not spend much at all on anything for myself. Like, everything I wear is freaking thrifted and stuff like that, because I save every penny that we make to be able to do stuff on the property. The property means so much to me. Like, the house, the remodels and stuff like that, like getting the house to be at a perfect level for our family. To build the garden, we use like mostly reclaimed materials. We make our own compost and stuff like that for our garden. Like, we do a lot of things to be able to make the land here amazing. Like the greenhouse I saved up for years. And it's all because of this YouTube channel. My life would not be what it is if it weren't for this. So I want to just endlessly say thank you so much for watching my YouTube channel, because I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it weren't for you guys watching. Like, it's literally changed my entire life. So yeah, saving is all I can tell you. Like, it's every penny that I've made basically since 2017, I have put into savings and spent wisely. That's just what we do. Try to look at our long-term goals and spend on those. So yeah, we've just saved a ton of different things. And honestly, my husband allowing me to quit my job when I did, and financially supporting us through that year while I built up my YouTube channel, and you guys all watching and having the content finally like actually pay off for me. Because for the first, like, I've been doing YouTube now, I think I'm on my 10th year. For the first 5 years, I'm pretty sure it's 5 years, I made $0 and I was uploading 3 videos a week. So there's a lot of time and effort that went into making my YouTube channel that like was completely uncompensated. And even when I did start making money back in the day, it was like $100 a month. So yeah, it just is like the luck of the draw. And I feel so unbelievably blessed and lucky that I've been able to make this my job, which is like such a unique and bizarre job in the best way possible. And I'm just so unbelievably grateful every single day for it. So things I wish I had known before I had my son. There is nothing that can prepare you for what being a mother is like. Nothing. No amount of book reading, no amount of people telling you, because you know what? Your kid is born with their own temperament. They are who they are, and you do not have a say in that. You think you might. If you don't have kids, you might be like me and being like, well, my kid's not going to do. You don't know shit. You don't know who your kid is going to be, because they might not match your temperament at all. They might sleep extremely well. They might be chill as hell. They might be sleeping in 4-minute increments for like 6 months. You just literally don't know what to expect. So the things I wish I had known is that it is unknowable. We are not meant to do this alone. Mothers are not meant to mother alone by themselves in a house with no help or support. The saying, it takes a village, is real, and it's supposed to be real. But the way that America has set up motherhood is abysmal. And no wonder the rates of maternal mental health conditions are so high, because it's like, it's just fucked what we do to moms. And so I wish I had known, I guess, what normal baby stuff looked like without the like expectations set on babies. I think people have really high, myself included back in the day, really high expectations of babies. And then we put those expectations on them. And then when our babies don't meet those, we feel like we have failed as parents or we're doing something wrong. There are wake windows that they're supposed to meet, and they're supposed to sleep a certain amount. They're supposed to take a certain amount of naps. It's all nonsense. Yes, there are some things that are like, I'm not talking about health concerns. I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm talking about like developmental milestones of like sleep or temperament, things like that. Like, yes, there are sure ideals of like, your baby should be sleeping through the night by blue. No, my baby still doesn't sleep through the night, and he's almost 2.5. Still, it's just biologically normal for some kids to sleep like shit, and for some of them to sleep great. And I saw a post the other day that was so eye-opening. I think it was from Annalie Grace. I think that's her name, on TikTok. And it was like talking about how there's like, you get like 20 prenatal appointments, and your baby gets like 7 newborn checkups, and postpartum moms get one 6-week checkup. Bye, get fucked, have fun. Like, it's actually crazy. Before I had him, I wish that I knew that like the birth was like a blip. I did a lot of studying about birth, and very little studying about what it's like to be a mother. And there is no way to know until you know. But like, especially that I gave birth in the middle of a pandemic, it's just like brutal, dude. And I just wish I knew that like every single phase, everything that your kid goes through, everything that feels permanent is so temporary. And even when you're in it, and even if it lasts like 8 weeks and you're like, no, this is how life is now, it will change so fast that you can't even believe it. And you will hardly remember that time that you were in. So while something feels permanent, it's so not. Nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary. And all the phases, all the things, all the moments, all the sleepless nights, it does get easier. So don't get stuck. Try not to get stuck in the thoughts of foreverness. Everything will change, and before you know it. And it evolves every single day. So those are things I wish I'd known. Somebody wanted me to talk about how hard it is to make new friends as an adult. Amen. I actually made some new friends. It's been like a huge goal of mine since becoming a mom, is to make new friends, specifically mom friends, because I want somebody for my kid to play with. I want him to have like friends, and I want to be able to like have people that I can understand me and like my situation. And I have made a few mom friends since becoming a mom, and it has been lovely. I'm still friends with them today. I don't know if you guys remember that mom I met at the nursery. Still friends with her sister-in-law as well. And their kids quite frequently come over for play dates, and it's been lovely. I wish I had some advice. It's freaking hard, man. How do you make friends as an adult? Well, somebody once told me, go to the places that you enjoy, and you will make friends with like-minded people. And honestly, that's where I met the mom that I am friends with today. I went to the nursery, and because I love plants and I love talking about plants and I love gardening. And so we went there, and she happened to be there with her son, and we struck up a conversation, went up, talked about our kids, exchanged phone numbers. Don't be weird about it. Just exchange the phone number. That's how you make friends. It's awkward, it's uncomfortable, but probably they need friends too. All adults need friends, to be quite frank. So just ask them for their number. It's kind of weird. And you don't even have to be like, can I have your phone number? You don't have to make it like that. You could be like, we should exchange numbers in case we ever want to have a play date. We should. And then if they're weird about it, you don't have to like, what's the worst they could say is no. And yeah, you'll think about it every day for the rest of your life. Like, it's not that deep. The worst they could say is no, which most people don't. But then you could just be like, oh, we should get our kids together. That'd be so fun. And like, or if it's not a kid thing, be like, oh man, it's so nice to meet somebody that loves plants as much as me. Do you come here often? Maybe we could exchange numbers, meet up here again, like shop together. Like, it's so awkward. But there's like a part of me that's like, you know what? Everybody feels awkward, and we gotta just be awkward together and just admit that it's awkward. I think that's a huge icebreaker that I've noticed it with myself, is that like when I'm feeling like uncomfortable or awkward, I just say it. I'll be like, I know this is uncomfortable, and I know this feels awkward, and you don't have to say yes. And in fact, I'm gonna give you my phone number, and you don't ever have to text me. But if you ever wanted to, just text me. Like, just make it weird so that you can like break the weirdness. Just be like, I know this is weird, and let's be friends. And if you don't want to be friends, never talk to me again. But if you want to be friends, we be best friends. Like, just make it weirder than they could feel, and then it makes it less weird. See about this. This is So Glassy lip gloss from Color Mom. This looks like a nice nude, but it might be a little too true nude. A little too orangey. Maybe not. That's kind of a vibe, huh? Do I need a lip liner? I'm gonna try to find a darker color so I don't have this like weird butthole situation going on. Well, that ain't it. I'm gonna go through all these ColourPop Luxe lipsticks until I find one. And I think the final thing that I wanna talk about is somebody asked like, what things have you learned in therapy that can be really helpful for other people? I think some of the things that have helped me the most that I feel like everyone should kind of implement into their lives are to not get stuck in emotions. I think this is one of the biggest things that I've taken home from therapy. And that is that everything that you feel, even if you feel it for a really long time, it is temporary and you will not feel like that forever. And I think a lot of people that are struggling with like mental health conditions and things like that can feel like their feelings are forever and what they're experiencing is going to be like that forever. And so that a lot of people just feel really hopeless, and that's just not true. It's not true at all. I have felt literally so bad. Like when I had my mental health crisis, I was at 500 out of 10 feeling bad. I truly was like, no one has ever felt as bad as I feel. I felt sick all day long, nauseous. I lost so much weight. I literally couldn't eat. I couldn't think about anything but how bad I felt all day long. It was like I was in fight or flight for months. Like my body was like shaking physically all day long with how bad I felt. And I was like, this is me now. This is me for the rest of my life. And not only is that not true at all, but I have gotten to a place that I didn't think I could get back to. And now I'm actually, I'm on 10 milligrams of my medication now. I was at 20 milligrams and about 2 to 2.5 months ago, I started weaning super slowly off. I'm only down to 10 milligrams, but I feel really good. I feel mentally really, really good. And I was really thinking that the only reason I was feeling better was the medication. In fact, I feel so much better kind of weaning off of it now. So if you've been scared to do that as well, you know, you just got to talk to your doctor. Keep yourself in the mindset of nothing is forever. And even if I started feeling worse when I was weaning off, I could go back on. I could try something else. There's always something new to try. You're never out of options, and that every feeling is temporary. You might be having a crappy day. It's just a crappy day, not a crappy life. Even if you have a crappy week, it's a crappy week, not a crappy life. And you will feel better and you will come out of it. You will. So what I've learned in therapy is just to experience the feelings, feel them in their entirety. If you're feeling really tired and down one day, you're feeling tired and down. You don't need to change that. You need to feel it. If you're feeling depressively sad, experience it and move through it. Don't get stuck in it, but move through it to where you can get out on the other side. It's really fucking hard. But I feel like through therapy, I've really learned to be able to move through things instead of get stuck in them. Because I was somebody before that like I'm very black and white in my thinking, and something that is forever, and that's just not true and has never been true for me. So I had to experience that I would have good days and bad days and like acknowledge them through therapy. So like with it, I was acknowledging, like my therapist would be like, see, you had a really, really bad week last week, but this week you're having a good one. And she would like let me know like, hey, I know you speak in absolutes. You're very black and white about things, but look, you're having a great day. And I'm like, damn, that's a really good point. And so we started like looking back. She gives me the anxiety and depression screens. Like one day I will score as high as you can on depression. And I'm like, oh damn, I'm going through it right now. And then like 2 weeks later, I'm feeling a lot better. And knowing like, hey, last week your score was 15 for anxiety, but this week it's 5. It shows you that not everything is forever, and life is ebb and flow. It's not linear. You're not stuck. Everything will be okay. And talking through it and figuring out different perspectives is just life-changing. So I think that's one of the biggest things that I've learned in therapy. This has become like a Q&A, but I just had all these different topics I wanted to talk about. But it is 11:30. My kiddo woke up at 5:45 this morning. So I'm gonna go put him down for a nap, because I can guarantee you this kid is tired, and I'm gonna get going. And I just wanted to say, no foundation, but obviously like the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer. And this was the shade, by the way, that I used was Coconut Flakes 2.7N. Perfect color for me. Absolute beautiful coverage. The makeup that I feel like I have on my face, like I look flawlessly amazing right now. Like my skin looks divine. The powder puff, yes, please. I feel like that did such a good job of just making my under eyes look so flawless, and I just feel like my skin looks like it has a filter on it, you know? Look how good. There ain't no filter, baby. This looks nice. I feel pretty. So I'm gonna go and get some other stuff done today and edit this video to put up for you guys. And I thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you at the next one.